December 3rd is approaching rapidly, and it could be a day of reckoning if Congress doesn't do something quickly, and it could ultimately have a negative impact to tens of millions of beneficiaries receiving Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB. Let's get into it and discuss what is going on December 3rd and why this date is so incredibly important that we need to watch very closely. But really quickly, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I am here for you every single day bringing all the latest updates as they're being released, as well as talking through other very important topics just like what we're going to discuss right here in this video. So again, thank you so much. Subscribe down below and feel free to share this video or any others here on the channel with your friends, family, and social media. All right, let's get into this. So if you've been watching the videos for a while now, you know that Congress has been an absolute mess with everything that they're trying to do lately. And when I say trying, yes, I really do mean trying, simply because they're not exactly succeeding all that well lately, right? It just seems like a big old soap opera and drama coming down every single day with everything that is coming out of Congress. A lot of talk, but not a whole lot of action, right? Well, they've been going back and forth for many, many months now. However, a day that will not escape them is going to be December 3rd. If they don't actually do something by December 3rd, we could see some really negative impacts coming down across the entire country, literally for almost every citizen, especially those people receiving fixed income benefits. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB, retirement benefits. But again, let me talk through that here in just a minute. Now, you might be wondering, why December 3rd? Here's why. They continue to pile all of these important deadlines on December 3rd. Yes. So, what's interesting about that is they're going to be out of town for the Thanksgiving week. Of course, they're going to be gone and they're going to be doing their own thing the week of Thanksgiving. Now, of course, I'm sure we're still going to get a lot of different updates out of Congress, as they all, even when they're gone, not technically in session, they're always making announcements, they're having press conferences, they're talking, interviews, all kinds of stuff. So I'm sure we're still going to get a lot of information. However, December 3rd is the date that they continue to pile things on. Let's go through the list of different things that are coming down, and let me share with you why that could be a date that may actually have some negative consequences for fixed income beneficiaries. All right, number one, I'm going to go from kind of like least consequential to most consequential. All right, there's a few different things. Number one, they extended out the surface transportation funding until December 3rd. Now, again, that's not a huge deal, right? Of course, you don't want to see the people there who are working there to be furloughed if it's not surface transportation is not continuing to be funded, but in early November, they extended it for 30 days. Therefore, it extended out until December 3rd. That's number one. Okay, that's not all that consequential, but it's something important that is lining up for December 3rd. Next is the continuing resolution, otherwise known as the government funding. So remember, the end of September was the end of the fiscal year for the federal government. Well, as a result, on the last day of September, September 30th, as they always do, they passed a continuing resolution to keep the government funded until October 3rd, I believe it was, or something like that. Sorry. They continued to keep the government funded for a short time. Anyway, it was for just a short time, and then they extended it out until December 3rd. So December 3rd is the new date in which, if they don't actually get another continuing resolution done and or the new federal budget figured out and actually passed by then, which, by the way, they only have a few provisions actually kind of hammered out at this point, so the likelihood of them actually getting it done by now is probably unlikely. I'm just being real with you. It's probably unlikely that they're going to have the full federal budget done by that date. Therefore, they'll need to pass another continuing resolution and kick the can down the road a little bit further to keep the government funded. Otherwise, we could be going into a government shutdown if they don't get that done. Now, historically, typically they do get that done, another continuing resolution, so I'm sure they will do that. Highly doubt they're going to have the federal budget done by then, but worst case scenario, they kick it down the road another month, another 2 months, something like that, and they keep the government funded at the current rates that they are right now. Okay, that's something we got to watch. Generally, they would do that, and there's usually not a whole big problem with it, but usually they wait until the very last minute to do it. So I would anticipate at this point, probably December 2nd, late in the afternoon, maybe even the morning of, December 3rd, they might actually get something done. But again, we'll watch that closely. Next, now, this is the big one. Now, again, remember I said I was going from least consequential to most consequential. Now, this one is this whole debt ceiling issue. Remember that whole thing? So this started way back in, well, quite a few months ago. Actually, it all started at the end of July. But we didn't really hear a whole lot about it until pretty much the end of September into October. And then technically, the federal government was supposed to run out of money, totally broke, as in the Treasury has no money in it, as of October 18th. And Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, continued to say, Congress needs to do something. We need to raise the debt ceiling. We need to suspend the debt limit, all this business, because October 18th would have been the date. However, at the very last minute, again, well, actually it wasn't quite the last minute. It was just a few days out. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It was a few days out from then. Congress did actually pass an extra $480 billion of funding to keep the government funded through December 3rd. Well, that's coming up again. December 3rd is the date in which they'll be running out of money once again to pay all of the obligations and the bills for the federal government. The Treasury is assigned to do that, and the Treasury will be out of money again as of December 3rd. So, this is the big issue because previously they were saying that they wanted to come together and get this done on a bipartisan basis. However, many people are saying that Democrats need to do this through reconciliation. Well, there's this back and forth right now where they're saying, well, we don't want to do it through reconciliation. And people like Joe Manchin are saying, well, it's the Democrats' responsibility right now because they have full control of everything, the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It is the duty of Democrats right now to get that done, according to Joe Manchin and some others that are saying that right now. Meanwhile, other people in Congress are saying, we don't want to use the reconciliation process to raise the debt limit, but rather we want to do it in a bipartisan basis. So, it all comes down to this date. If the government runs out of money, as in the Treasury is fresh out of cash and they cannot pay their bills and their obligations, that means that the United States could default on our obligations, meaning they can't pay the bills, right? Well, what would that do? It's just like anybody in a personal sense, where if we can't pay our bills, it gives a little ding on our credit report, right? Well, that's exactly what would happen to the United States government and our ability to borrow money, things like this. So it would not be good for the credit of the United States, right? So ultimately, that could have some negative consequences. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what does this mean for fixed income beneficiaries? Now, I've talked about this previously before, prior to, well, it was about early October is when I was talking about it last. And we wanted to watch that very closely because there were many, many reports out, a lot of reports. In fact, I had my wife come back in one of the videos and read a letter to everybody in an article laying all of that out as in why the suspension of the debt limit, if it didn't happen, could actually be kind of bad for fixed income beneficiaries. Now, let me lay this out here, and I've seen a lot of comments coming back and forth saying, no, this won't happen. But I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, okay? Of course, we don't want to experience this, but I'm letting you know what I'm seeing out there as far as the reports go. And basically what they're saying is there could be a delay to payments. A delay to payments being like Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB. Now, it's not that the money is not there. The money is absolutely there because it's in the trust fund, remember? When it comes to Social Security anyway, the money is there in the trust fund. So it's not a matter of getting the money. The money's there. It's just a matter of distributing the money is where the problems could come in. And they're saying a delay could ensue. Well, are we talking like 3 days delay? Are we talking like a 1 day delay? Are we talking 3 weeks, a month? What are we talking about for a delay? There's never been any indication as far as how much that delay could actually be. I haven't seen it anyway. They just continue to say that there could be a delay if they don't actually get this debt ceiling issue kind of figured out. So that could be kind of a bad thing for many millions of beneficiaries because, let's be real, everybody probably watches the calendar very, very closely. The day of that you get your benefit, I'm pretty sure probably everybody looks at your bank account first thing when you wake up in the morning on the day that you're supposed to receive your benefit to make sure it's there, right? I mean, am I right or what, right? I mean, all of us do that, right? We always look at our bank accounts on payday, right? So if we happen to go to our bank accounts and nothing was there, that wouldn't be a good thing because many people as a result of everything going on right now with higher prices and low benefits and making it more difficult to live on these small benefits, it's making it a little bit more difficult right now. So we're really stretching these dollars and pennies every single month, right? So as we get toward the end of the month and waiting for payday, a lot of people are stretched all the way out and have probably nothing left, maybe a few pennies left. Well, that makes it really difficult. If the payments are delayed, what happens then, right? You can't really continue to live this same standard of living and live on pennies for a few days if there's nothing left, if the payments are delayed, right? So it's not really a good situation. Now, again, this is what I'm seeing in the reports. This is what I'm seeing in the headlines. This is what's going on. So, again, I know it's this whole debate back and forth of whether the payments would be delayed or not, but this is what I'm seeing. So, again, I'm not the guy sending out the payments. If I was, it'd be a totally different story, right? We'd be having a totally different conversation. But anyway, this is what I'm finding out there. So again, December 3rd is that date where things are going down, and we'll need to watch this and see how Congress reacts to this coming up to it. And I'm sure, just like always, there probably will be a bunch of drama thrown down at the last minute, as they always do, because this is what they do every single time. So we'll have to see how they approach all of this. But either way, it is certainly a date that we need to keep on our calendar, as it is coming down, and we just have to watch it very closely, because it could impact literally pretty much all Americans, right? So to some degree. Anyway, I hope this helps you out. Again, I'm here to bring you all the latest updates and to help you out in any way that I can as your one and only daily advocate every single day. So again, hit that subscribe button right down below the video, share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,000 videos at this point. Wow, we're really getting a lot of videos here. So thanks again. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later in the next